Count Dooku has set a trap as a test for General Grievous. We watched Lair of Grievous for our Clone Wars Chronological Rewatch, so now it's time to break it all down.
After Newt Gunray's escape, his ship is tracked to a mysterious structure on the moon Visek. Kit Fisto meets up with his old Padawan, Nadar Veb, to investigate. They soon realize it is a home base to General Grievous himself, and so they prepare a trap for the cyborg. What they don't know is that they've actually been lured there by Dooku to serve as a test to Grievous. He barely survives the initial attack and scurries off for repairs. The clones are one by one killed off by traps in the lair and a ravenous Rogwart named Gore until only the Jedi remain. Nadar foolishly takes on Grievous alone and is killed. Fisto duels the general outside but is able to escape in his starfighter.
Before we get into the theme and everything, I just want to say that I think this is probably my favorite episode so far in the rewatch. It's got a little bit of everything. I really love the atmosphere. It's creepy. It's intense.
Yeah.
Grievous gets to be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love the message. It's very well communicated. I know you love Kit Fisto.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you haven't spoken up about him.
Well, I do love Kit Fisto, but I think my favorite thing about this episode is Grievous's sassy doctor droid.
Yes. Again, a little bit of everything. Like, it's got comedic relief that is actually very appropriate and very effective.
Mm-hmm.
But I love, like, if you were a better fighter, we wouldn't be doing this right now.
He reminds me a lot of K2SO.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very accurate. But I don't know. I just wanted to praise the episode for a bit because I really love it. I think it's great.
Yeah.
The theme of this episode is most powerful is he who controls his own power. Kit also has the line, those who have power should restrain themselves from using it. I think that's very easily demonstrated in two characters, Nadar Veb and General Grievous.
Yeah.
Grievous, let's start with him because, I mean, we get to kind of see a glimpse of his story in those statues where he is a great Kaleesh warrior, but then he starts to get improvements. He gets improvements, like, he wants to be better and better at killing, I guess.
Yeah, the droid says something about what he's done to himself, and he counters that by saying, I volunteered to do this, I did this on purpose.
These are improvements.
Yeah, this is making me better.
Yeah, he's just not satisfied with already being apparently a very fierce and feared warrior. But it's like he's craving approval from Dooku. And despite everything that he does, he still doesn't get it.
Yeah. Dooku's like a bad parent that is like never happy with what their kid is doing. And their kid is constantly like trying to impress them. And
it's like, see what I did? Instead of holding like a crayon drawing, it's a severed head. It's like, could be better.
I got another lightsaber today.
Yeah. Look at my collection. There could be more. But yeah, there's also this line from Kit Fisto who tells Grievous that the power he craves will only consume him. And, I mean, that's the message right there.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the more compelling example is Nadar Veb, who... something that's really cool that I saw pointed out on StarWars.com is that he is always using the Force because he can. Not because he needs to, but like he at one point turns a chair around to face Newt Gunray, but instead of just like using his hand, he's right there. He could have just used his hand.
Right.
But he uses the Force because he can.
Yeah.
And I think it's really interesting that early on Kit says like, sorry I couldn't finish your training, but congratulations on passing the trials. And he wasn't able to finish training him because of the Clone Wars. And it's like, are the Jedi now cutting corners? Maybe promoting people that they shouldn't be?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're definitely cutting corners, and it's showing in this episode.
Yeah, Nadar is not ready. I mean, he does so many things that are not the Jedi way. Like, he craves revenge. He's hasty, he's angry, he's craving glory, kind of like Grievous. I mean, there are a lot of similarities there.
Reminds me a little bit of Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Kind of a brat.
What I thought of was the talk I had with Henry Gilroy at DragonCon.
Name drop.
Yeah, because we were talking about the Inquisitors, and I was just asking him, like, what were you guys thinking? What was your thought process? Were they all Jedi? And he was like, yeah, I mean, if you think about it, there were a lot of potential targets because, and he specifically said, the younger Jedi were more susceptible to falling to darkness during the Clone Wars because they just weren't as prepared as the older generations. And, like, that's Nadar.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a really cool connection. And now I'm like, if he had survived this episode, he probably would have been a prime candidate to become an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Palpatine probably had his eye on him. But yeah, there's just, I don't know. I could go on and on about this episode. I think it's so cool.
Yeah.
Before closing out, let's go over some of the random trivia from the episode. First, I want to point out maybe the dumbest thing I've ever said on this channel. In my General Grievous video, like 4 years ago, I said Nadar Veb's lightsaber was the first one he ever added to his collection, when he is shown to have more than 4 already in the episode. I think I was trying to say Nadar is the first on-screen Jedi we ever see Grievous kill, but still, biggest, dumbest mistake I've made on this channel.
According to the script, the captured lightsaber Kit Fisto examines once belonged to Jedi Master Nebo.
As of right now, Lair of Grievous gives us our only canon look at who he was before he became a cyborg and a grim display of statues I guess he's made of himself.
As an indicator of his youth, Veb only has a single barbel on his chin, as opposed to the numerous ones Admiral Akbar has.
The holocams in Grievous's lair are the same model that Jabba uses in his palace in Return of the Jedi. You can also find those facts on StarWars.com's episode guides, and they're currently doing a chronological rewatch on their website as well if you want to check that out. I'll put a link in the description of all the episodes listed out chronologically, but that's it for today. Next week we'll cover Season 1, Episode 11, Dooku Captured, if you want to watch along. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel,
follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook,
and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.